Hi everyone, my name is Belinda Dye, the host and founder of A Rose in Bloom, which is a platform and a community focused on amplifying women's voices and encouraging them to share their real, authentic, God-given stories. We are here on another episode of season 3 where we are exploring the woman creative and seeing how God has given them the ability to create just like Him. Today we have special guest Nierba. And I'm so excited for y'all to get to know her and hear about her creative process and her journey. So let's get into it. Hello, Miss Nierba girl.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so glad you are here.
Me too. Finally.
That you made it up here safely. I know,
yes.
Finally. We've been working on this, but we're glad that God decided that it's finally time, right?
Right.
So I know you, right? Mm-hmm. But our audience, our listeners, watchers might not know you. So who are you?
Okay. That's a great question. JK, not really. Well, my name is Nierba. Most people call me Nee. That's kind of what was my name, like on campus at JMU, where we met.
Yes.
But I am from Martinsville, Virginia, so down
the
south,
baby.
like
the
Southwest
you can hear
Virginia.
It. You can hear it in your voice.
Yeah,
just
maybe a lot. Southwest Virginia. But yeah, I'll be 25 this December. So
period. Okay.
Things are elevating. Things are changing. It's very weird.
Yeah.
But yes, been in photography for about 4 years this October. Next month, I'll be celebrating 4 years officially doing Bevsci. But I've been kind of into it since like middle school.
Yeah, you were telling me. Yeah.
So it's been like a long
awesome.
time. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, 4 years. Okay,
that's crazy.
That's amazing. It's something to be proud of.
I am
Child,
excited.
because someone like me is like, after 1 year, I'm good.
I'm
good at it.
Is this really what, But 4 years and I love it. So it's been great.
Awesome. I know you're also an all-around visionary and creative.
Oh, yeah.
You be styling
just
on the streets,
okay? Just a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm super excited to hear about your process, everything Bev's Eye and whatnot. So let's get into you a little bit, right? Tell us about yourself in like 3 words.
I would say very calm. I would say like calm and chill. Okay. I don't think I have one word to describe how my mind works. It's just constantly going.
Yeah.
It may not look like it, but I'm always thinking about something. Like anything, how things work.
Yeah.
Like what to do, just constantly.
Yeah.
And I would also say comical. I love
comical.
A little laugh, a little hee hee ha ha.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like the first thing that came to mind, especially when you're talking about like how your mind is kind of like always going.
Yes.
Does that play into your creative process?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How so?
Okay. I cannot have one idea come into my head after 9 o'clock because I would be up until like 2 a.m.
Really?
So serious.
Not the boundary.
Listen.
Okay.
So yes, if I have like even the smallest idea about anything or trying to see how this camera may work or how this thing may work or this social media like this strategy or like a reel or a post, I'm just like, oh, okay, I got the idea. Really late, I'm up scrolling, Googling, trying to figure out everything, and I'm just like, I need to go to bed. I have to get up. 6 o'clock comes fast, so I have to get up.
It does.
So yeah,
I feel like that's definitely the mind or the process of, well, that's definitely my process sometimes. I'm not as good as like keeping a boundary like you are. Maybe I should, but like there are times where I'll think about something and I'm like, I should go to bed because it's late, but then I don't, and then it's like 3 a.m. and I'm like, I've worked out a whole concept for like all these things, and it's like, wait a minute, I didn't get no sleep.
Right.
So,
and sometimes my issue, like I will already be in bed, ready to go to sleep. And then it'll just hit me and I'm like, oh, I have to figure this out. Yeah. And then the next day at work, I'm just like,
down bad.
Was that really, did I really have to do that Monday at like, 11:45 when I should have been asleep? Yeah. But constantly going.
Listen, that's good. Like you said, at least you have boundary. Maybe we should keep working on it. Maybe you can keep me accountable because, girl,
all right,
I be sitting at my desk with a heated blanket like till 3 a.m. just And it's like, I need to sleep. Like,
right.
this is not.
It's just so fun to me.
Yeah, I get that. Fun. Yeah, and it's just like you're just there cultivating and creating, right. And it's like, oh, I don't want to lose like sight right. of what I'm saying, or like I don't want to like miss it or forget it. Right. So you're just like, yeah,
exactly.
Girl, I feel you. More than you know. Have you always seen yourself as a creative?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So even like in elementary school and middle school, at those fun little projects, I sometimes waited to the last minute. However, it still got done, and they were really fun to me.
Yeah.
Just really fun, creative things.
Yeah.
Whether it was science projects or things in English writing. Like I think my last year, we had to do something creative. And I think some people may have wrote things. But me and my group, I was like, no, we're going to do a video.
Okay.
And it was fun. I got an A on it. I remember that.
Okay.
So, for sure.
Good. Well, how has that played into your creative process with being a photographer? Like, how did you get started with photography and then, I guess, it leading into Bev's Eye?
Okay. Well, in middle school, I did something during the summer. They had a whole bunch of classes for you to sign up, and I just signed up for photography. Oh, wow. I thought it was really cool. We went around town and just took pictures, did different things. Cool. Then in high school, my cousin, he played baseball. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to go. Then I had a camera from church because I would sometimes take pictures during service, and I would have it during the week. Okay. So I was like, you know, let me just go ahead and use it since I have it. Yeah. And would go to the games, take pictures, little stuff here and there. It wasn't until about in 2020, everybody had like their own thing going on. It was trying to keep themselves together as best they could. So I went and bought a camera, was finally able to buy one. And then from there, it was just little stuff still. And then it really picked up 2021 for graduation shoots and took off from there. Cool. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I didn't like mention this. So we met at JMU, right? Go Dukes, always. And so, because I remember like one day, because I've seen you on campus and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, like, well, to me, all of a sudden, because I didn't know you.
I just popped
like
over
that. Yeah, like just I was like, oh, she got a camera now, and like, oh, she's taking photos for everything now, and like, oh, she good at this, like, you know what I'm saying? So, how did that come to be? And even the name Bev's Eye, like what was that process?
I love this question. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, COVID, we were in our apartment. Like I was my first year living off campus, and I was with my friends. We were like, yeah, okay, cool. And it was that October 2020, I think. Yeah, October. When I came up with the name, I was sitting in bed and I was like, I want to do this for real. So I created my website. And
not the website.
I think, the website, the Instagram, I was really moving. And I had it all pulled up, but I wasn't sure. Because a lot of people do first name, middle name, photography, or first name, last name, photography. And I like my name. Everybody knows my name, so I didn't feel like I needed, like, to have that as my handle. And plus, I still have my personal Instagram, so I was like, I want something different. So I was just like, Lord, help me. Yeah. I was up late again trying to figure, but I didn't have to go anywhere because you know kind of halfway on lockdown. But halfway on lockdown. But I was just in bed and I was laying. I was like, I really want a creative name, something that stands out. My name is creative. It's different, and it's something that stands out. And I want this business that I actually want to prosper for it to stand out. Yeah. So I was just like, I kept trying everything, typing in my name. Whole bunch of like my initials, everything. It just was not working. I was like, it's just so boring to me. And I just let it rest for about 10-15 minutes, and then out of nowhere it was just like Bev's Eye. Really? Yes. And Bev comes from the name Beverly, who is my godmother. She passed away my senior year of high school, so 2018. So a couple of years after is when I started with pictures. So yes. So it's like dedicated to her per se. Yeah, she was a photographer. And I got to see like a little bit of what she got to do. Yeah. Yeah. So it was really fun. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I know, I know that means a lot, right? And just the aspect of you just being like, you know what, I'm just going to let go, right? And then God just being like, right. It just hit. Right. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. My roommates were asleep and I was like, I need for y'all to wake up. Because I have to share it with somebody. But yeah, and as soon as I settled on the name, made my little graphic for my website, my little profile picture, my ad handle, everything. Yeah. So all in one night.
Listen, all in one night. Yeah,
all in one night.
You was focused.
I was.
Because the rest of us, 2020, was just trying to get through school. Because that was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane.
That was crazy. Has your photography evolved over time? You're in 4 years, or it's going to be 4 years, right? So how has it evolved over time?
Oh, it's insane, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So starting off, it's like, okay, I'm self-taught, so I haven't been to any classes, any workshops, any one-on-ones with anybody. So everything that I've learned and changed, I've learned on my own.
Come on, glory be to God.
YouTube, TikTok, love TikTok, or just even through maybe Pinterest, Instagram Reels, just listening.
No, you self-taught.
Yeah, like just every media platform that's available. I was just reading and listening, seeing what people do, kind of going through other people's pages to see, is this inspiration? Is it not?
Yeah.
So.
Dang.
Yeah.
And so it's just been like, I'm sure that you started there and then you kind of put your own things onto it, right? For it to be what it is now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So, of course, starting off, it was not, looking at them now, it's just like, who in the world told me to go out there and do this and why? But now it's a lot better. I love my work. I love, I'll go through my Instagram, not out of pride or anything, but just to be like, oh, wow. Yeah. Like in 2020, they were okay, but now, you've really stepped your game up. Yeah. Which is really cool. Yeah. Because I can be my toughest critic, and I'm just like, I feel you. I love this. And I even have people using, my work to come to me, and they're not sending me other people's ideas. They're like, oh, I really like this. Can we do it with this? And it just makes me feel good because I know it's a lot of people out there who take pictures and a lot of different ideas.
That's great. So and your work is speaking for itself.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's so cool because I'm quick to be like, I like so and so's thing. Can you do the same thing?
Yeah.
So that's really cool that someone's coming up to you with your own thing, and you're like, I like how you did this. Can you do the same thing? That's awesome. How has your journey with God influence your creative process?
I would say start with everything, really, from the name even down to editing. Even before I go out on a shoot, I'm just like, Lord, even if it's a quick little prayer, Lord, please let this equipment work fine.
Yes.
Because it can be very faulty. But it's okay. Yes, just always trying to push myself back to remembering this is a gift, and if you don't do right by this gift, you don't have to have it. You don't have to have these opportunities that you have. Everything given to you is not like I'm giving it to you. Just giving it to me. It's not just I can do whatever I want. No,
right.
It's not
just do it well.
Right. So exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where I try to always reel myself back in, and with every little thing, I'm just like, okay, Lord, let this pop-up tent stand up the way it's supposed to. Let this bag carry this equipment the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Let my car get me there, wherever I need, everything. Every little thing.
God for you.
Yes. So even in editing, I edit on an iPad with a pencil, and
whoa. Yeah. All your photos?
All of them.
Wow.
It's really bad for my posture. I'm so serious.
Yeah, I'm sure. But that's amazing because your photos are really good.
Thanks.
Honestly.
Yes.
I need to get it together.
With my little pencil, my iPad.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, just always, going back to this is a gift that you've been given. Steward it well, and the better you steward.
Okay. More things come, And even as you were talking about how this is a gift God has given you, when's a time that your God-given gift made room for you? And I know one of the things we've talked about was the whole step show. Oh, that was crazy.
Dang, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
Keep jumping around.
You're good.
Okay, so 2021.
Yeah,
okay, this is after I've done a few grad shoots and stuff. And I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for something different. And it was homecoming weekend. Everything was starting to actually happen on campus now. And so I just took the initiative, and I asked the director, I was like, hey, step show coming up, do you mind if I take pictures? And I was really nervous, but because I knew him from church and outside of JMU, I was like, oh, well, worst he can do is say no.
True.
And he said, yeah, sure, just let me get you a pass. And I was like, oh, okay. That was so easy.
Wow.
So
did they pay you?
No,
right?
Not my first year. My second year they did.
Period, second year.
Right.
Period,
so
second
my
year.
first year, completely voluntary. And yeah.
How's that experience though? Because you said like you basically just like, hey, I'm trying to do this, and they're like that. Yes. And then obviously, you just said second year, so
after the first year, it's kind of when it blew up. So then that December, I had people reaching out for grad photos, and then that spring
after the step show.
Yes. Okay. And then that spring, I had people reaching out for grad photos, and then different events on campus, like ASO's fashion show.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's us.
It's always fun.
Okay.
Always fun. And then the second year, everybody was like, are you taking pictures to step show? And I was like,
not them asking for you.
I know, right?
They said, we want her.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Period. It's like, get at me. Which has been really cool.
Yeah.
I love the step show. I love seeing how they put everything together. Like I said, I love how things work and how it comes to be. So seeing everybody's final performances on stage and just taking pictures of them in action is really fun.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, it was just graduation photos. So I'm posing people and just, just standing and smiling in different locations on campus, which is great. It's beautiful. But then coming to something more action-packed, you had like one person over here, or like three people over here.
That show can be a lot.
A lot of movement.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a learning curve. I was very nervous.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I asked for this.
Yeah.
But am I prepared? And I was just like...
And you sure are. God said yes.
Right.
More than prepared.
Turned out great.
Yeah.
And then did it second year. So yeah.
Were you more comfortable with it the second year?
Yes.
Because like, I'm just assuming from posing to like action shots, I know that they're probably different like things you need to do with your camera. I don't know nothing about that. Okay. But like, I'm sure it's like, okay, this person's moving. I have to get the right shot at this moment versus maybe the second year you just knew how to do things better? Or was it just kind of like, okay, well, I know how to go about this?
Yes. So in those spaces, I always get nervous because I'm thinking about other people who are watching.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, I don't want to get in their way, but it's like, you need to take these photos. Yeah. People who aren't here can kind of feel like
way to think about it.
They're here, you know? So just really moving around to make sure I get what I need. Yeah. Because they're going to be able to see and hear regardless. But as far as on the camera, it's just like a little bit, you know? So.
Yeah. That's good. How do you incorporate like your personality, your vulnerability, your authenticity into like your photography and like the things that you do, like whether it's the step show or posed photos like grad photos and things of that nature?
When it comes to working with people individually or I guess like smaller groups like families, I always try to push myself out of my comfort zone and create conversations. And because it's weird to meet up with a photographer and they're not saying anything, just like, hey, just stand here. I don't want to do that, you know? So I don't want to be that person or that business owner. So I definitely try to push conversation and, you know, kind of crack a little joke. Because you feel more relaxed if there's music playing, if they're, if people are just talking, just trying to get to know you, or just laughing a little bit here and there. So, trying to push myself to push them out of their comfort zone.
So that the photos come out, Have you ever had an experience where it's, like, just totally awkward? Or it's been fine?
No, I've had one that was awkward. It was just headshots, so it was only, like, 10, 15 minutes long. But, had never met them a day in my life. So, but they were also quiet and soft-spoken.
Okay.
And so for me, I was just like, oh, well, we'll be fine. This will go quick.
We'll just, okay.
Yeah.
Is that ever, like, awkward for you? Because I know that you're quiet and kind of, like, introverted, I guess, per se. But, like, because I'm like, I don't think she is. But, you know, it's because I know her. When you get in situations like that, where the client per se is like not giving in the way that you expected it? Like, how do you like get through that?
I try to ask, what is your favorite, who's your favorite artist, or what do you like to listen to? I always try to have a speaker. Sometimes it does not work out for me to always have a speaker. But yes, and I also encourage them to bring friends. Okay. This past grad season of the JMU, I had, I think it was 4, either 5, can't remember, but they were all friends. So everybody, majority of the friend group was graduating. Yeah. So they all came, and it just made it so much easier and so much fun. Yeah. Because it was a lot of fixing hair, ties, dresses, gowns, tassels. Oh, and all the fun of graduation. Right? Yeah. And they just made it, the group just made it easier. And they were there because I had them back to back to back. I was strategic. I was like back to back. And it was just, it turned into a whole day of fun. And I didn't feel like I was working until I stopped. And I was like, oh, like I just did 4 of y'all back to back to back.
That's a lot, girl. But yeah. That's a lot. And I'm sure that they appreciated that as well. I know for me, like when I go to shoots and whatnot, well, back in the day, I used to just go by myself. And like it was fine. Yeah. I tend to be very extroverted in that way. But I've noticed even myself when I have like other people there, even if they're not, you know, getting shot, it's like, oh, like this is the environment is better for the work to even like be better at the end. Right. Like there's more joy or like more peace and things like that. And it shows through the photos. That's good. Sure. Yeah. Have you ever had a project where you're like, oh, God is in this. Like, this has turned out so well because of his help and whatnot. And if you do, if you could go into that a little.
I don't think it was anything I planned, but the college ministry I was a part of, a year after school, I interned. So I was doing media, photography, social media, all that. And it's certain Sundays throughout the year called College Sunday, Campus Sunday, you know, all the fun things of coming to church and like your favorite college kid. Yeah. And one of the students who was leading worship, I took a picture of him, and it was very passionate. You can kind of see him glistening from the light. It was in black and white. I edited it in black and white. And just being able to see him in his element and be as young as he is, not afraid to be on a stage leading worship in front of a big church with a couples of hundreds, you know, college students. And then another one, there was another young lady, she was standing right beside me, but I was so focused on worship team, I was like, oh, I forgot to turn around. So I turned around, and she was like really expressive. Like the photo is very expressive. She was really yelling. And I really liked that one. Really loved that one. And then there was a third one from that same day. Oh, wow. Someone, he was kneeling and he was wasn't paying attention. He probably didn't even know I was right there. But in the background, in the corner, it's a shadow of the cross that was on stage. Oh, wow. And he's kneeling. So it looks like he's kneeling at the cross, but he's not physically at the cross. The cross is a shadow. And you caught that. I did. And I didn't realize it until got home and edited, and I was like, whoa.
Oh, dang, that's beautiful.
This is crazy. Right.
That is beautiful.
And I know people, you know, have their own opinions about photographers doing worship and doing church. But
I was about to ask that because some of y'all be in our faces like, dang, I'm just trying to worship.
I don't like that. I always, you know, I try to use a lens where I'm far back and I can see you. I don't want to be, you know, in your face. Yeah, it's important.
I mean, it is.
It's important.
Because it can make an impact. Yeah,
it can.
I know that there are definitely times where, like, if I'm worshiping and, like, I feel the camera on me, I'll just,
just...
I was like, do you want a picture of me just looking straight at you? No, so go away.
I want to tiptoe throughout service where people don't even know where I'm at.
That's good.
They don't even realize that a picture of them has been taken until after they see it posted. If it's posted. Yeah. I don't want them to know. If it's posted.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. I'm glad that you're one of those photographers.
Because I don't want to be like worshiping and crying and just like so in tune. And I look to my left and there's like a lens right there. That's not.
And then they be posting it. Right. And it's like, I look terrible.
You saw me and you did that. Why would you do that? I wouldn't want that done to me, so I'm not gonna do it.
You're so kind.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service, girl.
Of course.
To the community. We need more photographers like you.
I know.
So how do you navigate through like creative blocks if you have them. I know you have them. We all
yes,
do.
We do.
But like, especially when it comes to photography, I'm thinking of editing and all the things that it is in the world now. Like, you gotta take the photos and you gotta edit it, and then so and so wants these photos, but then sometimes they'll like take the raw photos and then like so like with that process, do you have creative blocks and how do you navigate that?
I do. When it comes to editing, it's not always fun because and the reason I say that is because I'll have a plan to go in and not overshoot because 30 minutes I shouldn't have like 800 photos.
In 30 minutes?
It's just an example.
Oh, okay.
It's just an example.
It's like, dang,
just an example.
Work.
So, those moments where I'm like, oh, I don't feel like editing, or I get really focused on one, and I'm just like, it isn't working out. I just have to stop because sometimes I'll go home and I'll jump right into it. And I think that also plays a part because I'm not giving myself a break from traveling to taking the pictures to traveling back home wherever I'm staying and then editing. So it's just like, take a moment, breathe, go do something else that doesn't revolve.
That's good.
Photography.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's real good. Taking that break.
Closing that iPad, closing my camera bag, or even just sitting and just taking a moment, maybe a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then looking through raw photos and then going back and jumping into it.
No, that's good. I definitely have times where I have to like step away from like writing an episode or like contacting people because it's just like it gets too much. Or there are days where I'm like, I don't know what I want to talk about with these people, so I need to step away. Sometimes for me it's like a whole 24 hours. I can't. Like I
get it.
Like I cannot. But then I'm sure with you, like people be stressing you for their photos.
Yes. Okay. I always try. Well, first of all, it's on my website, and I know in today's time, a lot of people don't use websites. It's either like something really quick, like social media.
Exactly.
And that's
I was about to say. I
usually
like on social
everything
media.
in the bio, and that's pretty much it. And I'm like, no, y'all, it's on my website. But I also try to remind them in the email when they book. It sends like an email and a text message, and just try to put everything out there. Like, hey, thanks for booking this time. Please allow however many, whatever.
Please allow.
Yeah.
Nah, because I think I'm still quick to be like, so where are my photos? I'm one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. Because in my mind, again, I don't take photography, but I'm like,
fair.
14 days should be enough. But
yeah, grad season, I let them know like as soon as it ends. Grad season, I'm like, look, I got a lot of people after you.
I don't blame you. Y'all not about to stress her out.
Okay, got a lot of people after you, and so I'll try to get them out sooner.
Yeah,
like this year, we were really pushing it close to graduation day, and I was like, I would try to get them out as soon as I can. But just know, you're like number 4 out of 6. So bear with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely trying to keep up that communication with my clients or whoever is paying for the session. Like just to let them know this is what you're paying for. This is what you can expect. When you can expect it. How I do things.
Yeah. Well, maybe it is grad season, but like, what has been one of your toughest challenges when it comes to the photography or the brand or the business, and how has God helped you through it?
Ooh. Comparison. Yes. So in those moments when I'm trying to look for different photographers or creatives, just to see like how do they edit this? How do they do this? I sometimes can scroll a little too long. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh dang, I want to do this. Or how did they do this? And but then it's like he reels me back in. It's like, wait a second. Like I gave them that gift too, but you don't have to do it exactly the way they do it.
That's so
and they don't
good.
have to do it exactly the way you do it.
Listen.
And yeah, it pops up in more ways than one, especially in different spaces where I'm around different people and they don't necessarily see the way I do things. And it's just like, okay, they're like, well, so-and-so does this. And I'm like, well, that's great, but I don't think that's going to work for me and how I edit my photos or how I send out photos or whatever the case may be.
No,
yeah,
that's
but
good.
Definitely comparison.
That comparison, comparison be taking me out sometimes. But like kind of like what you said, God's given them that same gift per se, but it's going to show up differently for the way you do it and the way they do it. And you were created with that gift in mind to do it the way you do it because someone else responds to the way you do it, not the other person.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then even I think because we had conversations about the intersectionality between it all, right? Especially being like a Black woman who does photography compared to your white counterparts and things of that nature. What about that? How does that play into things?
That is really a push for me to keep going. So at the step show, I not sure who was doing anything before, but when I got there, outside of the people that Jamie would send for events, it was like, oh, it's just me. It's like, okay, cool. And even during conferences when I was involved with ENC, I noticed it was a bunch of guys, and I was like, oh, that's great. It's like, where the girls at? Like, it's like, it cannot just be y'all. So being in those spaces and then trying to grow and move forward, I walk in now like, yes, it's me. I am a woman. You're not the only person who can do this. Like, I'm graced for it just like you are.
Period.
So yes, definitely had to learn.
How did you though? Like, what was that process like from walking to that space and being like, okay, this I guess it's just me, to now being like, this is what God called me to do. I'm here.
I just jump right in, honestly.
Really?
Seriously. Because I was like, I want to take pictures and I want to evolve. I want to do different things. And I can't let the fact that I might be the only girl on the media production team stop that. So, I usually am nervous when people reach out and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to be here. Is it just going to be me? Is it going to be other people? But I just jump right in. And by the time, like, we're halfway through everything, I'm just like, oh, it's fine.
It is what it is.
What it is. It's fine.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, I mean, I'm definitely a, like, just do it type of girl. And so that's interesting in that photography space as well. Just because, I mean, unfortunately, at the end of the day, because we are Black women, we're kind of always constantly aware that, like, we're the minority in a lot of things that we do. But it's also knowing, once again, God's called you to that space because who knows, someone might watch this and be like, Nia's doing it, I can too. Right? And this is what I want to do, and she's doing it well, right? And glorifying God through that. So I think that's amazing. And I will continue, obviously, keep doing it. You know, keep showing up because others will continue showing up as well.
One more thing. I had a student. It was a couple of years ago. A graduate, not a student. Graduate. She was very nervous and she was very quiet. She was like, I don't normally take pictures, but I really wanted some for graduation, of course. And by the end of it, she was like, you made me feel so pretty, and you're a Black photographer, and I knew I wanted someone Black to take my photos, and college. So it just made me feel really good because she was able to open up a little bit more by the end of the photo shoot, which is really great. And it made me feel great because it was kind of encouraging to me, and she also felt encouraged and she felt pretty. She felt excited to take pictures. She felt excited to graduate.
Exactly.
And I feel like everyone should gift themselves at least a few pictures or a small session of photos to celebrate their milestones. So that was, it was
that's
really
so
great.
Important. Because I'm sure, again, encouraged, and she probably just felt seen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And very safe. Because, we were just chilling. Nobody, it was like we could relate to things without even saying anything, just by us two walking around on campus.
Right.
So.
And just, girl, let me tell you, sometimes I'm like, can they take photos of Black people?
Right.
That's my thought process sometimes, because I'm like.
And that's exactly what I look at when I'm looking through the people like I'm encouraged by or inspired by. And if I go to their page and it's just one specific type of people, I'm like, no, I'm taking my follow back, or I'm not even following because
not taking my follow back
because I'm so serious. So because it's like, okay, the world isn't like that. Why is your page like that?
Ooh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. Dang.
Yeah, it came out. Yeah,
that's okay. Think on that.
But
Sit
seriously,
on
the
that.
world isn't like that, and I see a lot of other quote unquote Christian photographers, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let's get to it, let's connect, let's follow. And I'm just, when I get to the page, I'm like, oh, maybe not. I don't know. It's just,
is this kingdom?
Yeah. Is it kingdom? Or is it culture? But
yeah,
So yeah, when I go through that, I'm like, I want to see not just different ideas and where people take photos, but like different people.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to see you have 1,000 photos that you've posted or 1,000 posts, and they're all the same people, or they all look the same.
That's so important.
Yeah. So I definitely also try to strive for that too. Like, making sure. Even when I post, I'm like, oh no, I gotta have three black people right here. We gotta mix it up. We gotta mix it up right here.
But you're conscious of that, you know? And I think that's important, because some people,
it has to be. And I don't want people to think they want to book with me because they hear that I have a relationship with the Lord and that's important to me, and then they go to my page and it doesn't show that. Yeah. And it's just like, oh, well, how can I book with her if nobody looks like me on her page? And I don't want that.
Yeah.
Because if I go out, I want to make sure, I'm not orange or yellow when you finish taking my photos.
Thank you. Or super duper dark.
Really, yeah. So
that's important.
Yeah, it's I think about it all the time. So I'm very conscious about who I follow. And even though it may seem small, it's just I don't think it's fun. There's so many people in the world, and you only want to photograph or
do it one way, one style. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Again, for your service. Okay, girl, because you're really doing it for the community, and I'm so appreciative.
Trying.
What's the funnest project you've ever shot or collaboration that you've done?
Okay.
Or like the coolest, maybe.
I think the coolest, oh my gosh, prom. My little brother graduated high school this year. So precious. He went to prom last year and this year. So all his little buddies, they wanted me to take their pictures.
Of course they did. And I would too.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily like thought out or planned, but that was really fun.
Yeah.
Because they love something about that younger half. They love photos.
Of course they do.
Yeah, it was just really fun to work with them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just I love them. Aww. And they're all at college now, so I'm looking at their prom photos like, wow, we really did great. And then it's like, oh dang, like y'all are in college, y'all are really growing up. But that was really, really fun. And then one I did a few years ago in a beauty supply store. Ooh. My friend,
I remember that one.
Because it had just like recently just opened. Well, I don't know.
I don't think it was recent.
Maybe not.
But like,
I don't know. It was there, and we were excited that it was there. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but y'all put me on to that beauty salon because I didn't know it was in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Yeah. And
my friend, she thought she wanted to continue and put herself out there for braiding in different styles. And I was like, oh well, let's go to this hair store.
Yeah.
And let's take some photos. That was fun.
Y'all ate.
That was fun.
Ate with those photos.
It was like the earlier parts, but it was really fun.
So good. Yeah. I was like,
no, right?
What?
That was fun. I want to do more stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually have some stuff planned soon. They're still working out the little.
Okay.
Period. Y'all stay tuned.
Okay.
It's coming.
That part. So I guess as we're wrapping up here, when you look at your work, right, all the things that you do, apart from the aspect of making sure it's diverse and looking like kingdom, what's a unique twist or mark that differentiates you from other photographers? Like, oh, that's definitely an era photo compared to like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I try to do more than one thing.
Okay.
I know I've grown a lot with the grad photos or just portrait or like prom, whatever. But just doing more and different things. Because I want, regardless of what people look at, that they see it's more than just the same old thing. Yeah. And that I actually take the time to plan and everything is strategic. Yeah. Like I don't want to just throw stuff out there for the sake of views. The algorithm is something, but
girl, don't get me started.
It's something, but I don't want people to. I think I just tend to take my time a little bit more. Yeah, it's just my personal opinion.
I mean, that's a good strategy. That's a good business strategy.
Just to try to, because honestly, the last time I posted was sometime in April or May, and it's hard to keep up with the posts and trying to take everything and plan everything. So sometimes, I could do a little better.
Yeah.
But just the different portraits, different grad photos, different whatever. Yeah. Everything is not like the same thing.
That's good though, because I guess you're not just like you're like a one-stop shop. You can do a little bit of everything, which is great because some people can only take portraits or some people can only take sports photography and things of that nature. So you can get a little bit of everything with Mira.
Yes, exactly.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's good. I lit it. What piece of advice would you give to other creatives who are in your space of photography, wanting to get involved in photography and things of that nature?
I would say just to do it. If it's on your heart, pray about it first.
Pray about it.
Pray about it first. And just jump right into it. Something I've been learning, it seems like it's been popping up everywhere, is yes. Like just give your yes. If that's if it's on your heart, just say yes. And if it doesn't work out, at least you say yes. You weren't being disobedient. You still jumped into it, did it. May not be for like 5 and 10 years, but you still said yes. So just say yes. Just jump into it.
And that's good because you never know where that obedient yes will take you.
Right. Yeah.
Because
it's like me with the step show. If I hadn't have said, I'll ask him. Who knows how it would have played out for the rest of the years while I was up there.
True.
So.
And what would you be now?
Right.
Glory be to
God. Say yes.
Say yes. If he's telling you to do it. That's great. Well, that's it for me. Right. Thank you so much for being willing to come on to Rose and Bloom and talk about your creative process, photography, and your journey through that. If people want to find you, ask more questions or things of that nature, where can they find you?
Okay, y'all can find me on Instagram at BEBSEYE.
That's it. Period. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Remember to leave a review on Spotify, Apple, comment, like, and subscribe on YouTube. And until next time, continue blooming into the roses God has called you to be.